We shall overcome.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome
someday.
Oh,
Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
And welcome everybody to Leon Live. This is episode 3, and today we're going to be talking about the Amplify Washtenaw project. What you just saw was a rendition of We Shall Overcome that the Amplify Fellows performed on Martin Luther King Day. It was an amazing impromptu song. We got a lot to talk about today, and what we want to talk really first about is how did we come up with the Amplify Fellowship. So I brought 2 incredibly important people who helped form the fellowship. Today with us is Maia Evans. She is in charge of IT here at Leon. She's also an artist in her own right. And Maia, why don't you tell us sort of about the genesis of the idea and how we got to where we are today?
Of course. So George Floyd was really a catalyst of a lot of things, right? And grassroots movements as well as national movements, and just a very grief-inducing moment in our history. And I remember Noah took us all out in the parking lot, all the Leon employees, to just talk about it and and feel our feelings, because it's our responsibility to respond to things like that, right? It feels wrong to come to work with all that tension in the air. And so after that conversation, we talked about what's next. What do we do? And so we talked about fundraising, but what Noah and I really wanted to sort of hit home with is we can provide so much value in the community with what we already have. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be about money. So we have this amazing space. We have the Leon Loft, and we also manufacture speakers. We make noise, and that is exactly what the country was doing at that time, and exactly what Washtenaw County needs to do.
Yeah.
And so we teamed up with Grove Studios. I've been watching their work for a long time now, and they're an extremely accessible recording studio. And they're so entrenched in the community, and I think they're kind of our perfect partner in that way. And Rod is my partner, my co-founder in the Amplify Fellowship, and he is from Grove Studios, so I'll let him talk about that.
Well, yeah, I got to introduce Rod too, and Maia. Again, it was really cool to see how you kind of reframed the thought, because we didn't want to just have a short-term knee-jerk reaction to what was going on. We knew we needed a long-term vision that could really affect change in our community. So Maia talked about the vision and the mission, and we met Rod, and it was amazing to meet Rod because we really didn't know exactly how to create a fellowship and what we exactly wanted to do. And Rod's background, first and foremost, he's an educator. He is a lifelong learner and musician, and he's also an ethnomusicologist, but we'll talk about that another time. And he's the producer of Zero Noise podcast. So me and Rod have had amazing conversations since then. But Rod sort of came in to help us form a solid vision and mission, and really talk about the values of what we wanted to provide the community with Amplify. So welcome, Rod.
Well,
thanks for coming by.
Thank you. So I was coordinating educational programs at Grove Studios, and when we were approached about the opportunity, I thought about how can we truly make a difference. I try to make sure that everything I'm involved in is a difference maker with the people who I serve. So we created a proposal that talked about a number of different things, STEM-based internships here at Leon for young people of color, because Leon it's such a nuanced business in that it's international, it has a manufacturing wing, it involves technology, it involves design, as well as engagement with local school districts about possibly music technology, things of that nature. But really the flagship for the program involved a fellowship where we would identify local artists and provide them with the production, recording, and engineering support to create a project that reflects the times for them personally as well as overall in exchange for service to community organizations. They were able to actually choose the community organizations that they served. Another key element of it was we wanted to make certain that we did not retain any ownership of their publishing or their masters. This was we want to make sure that that's a level of access that we want to make sure that they maintain, even though they didn't have necessarily the resources to create with what they had already. So we wanted to make sure that everything stayed belonging to them. We wanted to make certain that they had everything that they need. So it really turned into a community effort beyond the artists, because it involved producers, it involved engineers, it involved session musicians, it involved music artisans, photographers, videographers, and things of that nature. And we're really extremely proud of what they've done. We're extremely proud of our fellows, London Beck, Kenyatta Rashawn, and Danny Darling.
Insanely talented artists and incredible people. And we continue to learn from them. And I can't wait to see what they're up to.
Absolutely. And we decided to go with 3 fellows in our pilot year, right? Hopefully that will adopt more, right?
Absolutely.
As we do the cycle. And just so everybody knows, our cycle is we intend to pick fellows in October or November and help them with their projects and see a project to completion, either an EP or a full album in June.
I hope we get to see some EPs. Like, I want to make sure we get some.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Like, we're gonna do some things so like things we could share out to the
Absolutely.
community too.
We're really excited to share the music that they've created,
Mm-hmm.
and we've given them complete flexibility and autonomy, and they've really done some things that are really treasures to hear.
Yeah, above and beyond.
Yeah. So it's been a whirlwind, right? From
Yeah.
George Floyd and the inception and the Grove and Leon partnership, starting in the summer, and then we kind of figured out all the brass tacks and announced the partnership and the fellowship in September. We actually have the video of the announcement, which I'm really excited to share with you guys, so that we can see like what Rod and I looked like 8 months
Yeah.
ago.
It's crazy the time vaporized. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
check out that video.
Mm-hmm. My name is Maia Evans. I am the Community Engagement Director at Leon Speakers. So we have launched, or are launching right now, this initiative, the Amplify Fellowship, in response to everything that's been going on, right? So right now it is so easy to feel powerless and to feel like going to work and being a part of an organization just feels wrong, you know, and going through your daily habits and not doing anything about the state of the world feels wrong.
Absolutely.
So that was kind of our inspiration, our fuel to the fire to kind of connect with Grove Studios. The name comes from, so Leon Speakers manufactures American-made speakers, and Grove here is so entrenched in the Ypsi community, and I've been following their work and love how accessible it is. So we literally have the power to amplify Black voices in Washtenaw County, and this is the premise on which we built this initiative.
Thank you. And what we've chosen to do is we are going to identify African American voices in our community that we will amplify. We are going to provide studio service, engineering help, as well as educational workshops to the community as a whole, but we're looking in particular for 3 acts from the African American community to support directly in creating an album that allows them to get their voices heard. So we're very happy to partner with Leon Speakers in this. We're very excited to see what will come of it, and we appreciate the support that we're receiving and that we will receive moving forward. So thank you very much.
Say about applications.
Oh, yeah. Make sure that you pay attention to the social media for Grove Studios and Leon Speakers in the coming days for links to the application. The current address is tiny.cc/ampfellow. That's tiny.cc/ampfellow. But the social media rollout will be beginning tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you. All set?
Yeah. And so, after that, we selected our fellows. As we said, Kenyatta Rashawn, London Beck, and Danny Darling. We would love to introduce them to you. So they are very, very special individuals to us, and we would love to let you get to know them a little bit more.
Absolutely. Danny Darling is a bit of a veteran in terms of the music scene around where we are. Brilliant guitarist, great songwriter, singer-songwriter. London Beck is what I call an auteur. London is a producer, engineer, classically trained violist. Is violist the right word?
I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Piano, can do anything in a studio. Brilliantly gifted singer and songwriter as well. And then we have Kenyatta Rashawn, who's more on the soul side. She puts a lot of feeling and emphasis into her songs and really touches the spirit. So they are the perfect group to start the fellowship.
Yeah, almost too perfect. But when we were interviewing them, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, we were just like, well, our job is easy. They do everything themselves. All we have to do is support them, and they won't need much support. So.
And they've taught us along the way as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And so they have actually been chronicling their own journey. And we have some vlogs to share with you so you can get to know them a little bit more. So we'll watch those right now.
They are good at doing these vlogs. I've been watching them a lot.
Yeah.
But today, I'm going to be taking you guys with me to show you a little bit about the process. Now, we're at a point where we're kind of wrapping up, actually. We've done a lot of the recording. We've recorded the ideas that we liked. And so now it's kind of trying to figure out the little touches, what to add, what to take out, mixing and all that, putting it all together. The project is 5 songs currently. I want it to stay in EP length, so it's like an EP is extended play, which is 30 minutes. An LP, which is long play, is at about an hour. So if you go over 30 minutes, you're beyond the EP territory. So I'm at 29 minutes. So it's quite a diversion from my little 1.5, 2-minute songs, the lo-fi approach. This is going to be complete opposite, very hi-fi, very bigger, better, more, because I finally have the resources to create a dream project, and that's what I would want. So we've got the 5 songs, and we're basically trying to flush them all out and get them all into final structures.
Hey y'all, it's your deity, London Beck, and I'm here to share a few fun facts about me. Another fun fact about me is that before I decided that music was the career for me, I actually tried to fight it and try to have a career as a lawyer, eventually a politician, but not right now though. And the last fun fact about me, even though there are plenty more, is that I am actually incredibly into cars. Like, it's actually quite scary. I come from a line of, I always say I come from a line of two things: ministers and blue collar workers that worked for Ford. I think between quite a few members of my family, there's like 100+ years in there somewhere. I'm actually the type of person where if I'm like in the car with you, or like we're at a restaurant and I see a car, like even by the headlights at night, like it's kind of scary. Like I can tell you usually like what model it is, what the trim is, what the horsepower is, what features it might have. Like I'm just very into cars. My dream, I've got two. My not so like humble pick is gonna be the new Aston Martin DBX. I really like the styling. I think it's a really sleek SUV. If I ever am lucky enough to make it that big, that will probably end up in my garage, not gonna lie. My more so humble brag, or not humble brag, but my more so humble pick is going, like, you can't go wrong with the muscle cars. I would always pick over anything a 1967 Pontiac GTO. Of course, classic. But that would probably be my pick, even over the Aston Martin. You cannot go wrong with the classics. Thank you for joining me today. Catch you later. Bye.
What's up? It's your girl Kenyatta Rashawn and Harlem here. And we at Grove Studios recording with True Classic. Shout out to True.
What up, though?
And we are currently working on another track, and this one is going to be called Free. So stay tuned for that. There's no hurt in me, got tranquility and my dignity.
Oh my gosh.
Dynamic artists.
Absolutely.
I love them so much.
Yeah.
Like, all of them are just beautiful people as well as amazing artists.
I like how during this entire process they work together as a team and supporting each other. We had them doing vlogs on a monthly basis. Sometimes we would give them prompts. We also gave them prompts during our meetings, and they were always so willing to explore their ideas and their thoughts about things. And one of the things that we were able to provide as part of the fellowship was, shout out to Mind State Marketing with Max, Max Price. He was able to help them in growing their brand from a social media perspective. And they were already creating really compelling content, but to be able to kind of steer that in a certain direction and be able to capture it where they're all pretty much saying the same things. It's all about growth. It's all about development and really putting your heart into the music. And I think that's why they've been so successful with us.
Absolutely. And then we also have Danny Darling helping us out with our social as well. And
Absolutely.
everybody's so eager to jump in and make this a real thing. And we're so excited to have them on board and probably as mentors and
Yes.
staff coming up in
Yes.
in our next cycle as
Yeah,
well.
we've shared with them that they're not going anywhere. We already know that Kenyatta is going to continue doing mentorship in the area, and London is offering lessons already. They've already received some requests for that, and then Danny, like you said, she's already working with us. So we just look to broadening the team with them.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would like to talk about the selection process because that was a process.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, I was impressed by what you came up with. I didn't know where we were going with that. And yeah, you guys did an incredible job, detailed job of coming up with what I would consider a really fair selection process.
We had 27 amazing applicants.
We did.
It was very, very difficult to sort of narrow it down. Yeah, Rod, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. One of the things that made the application, so it went application, interview, selection. So during the application process, there was a significant element of the application that involved telling us about your connections to the community and what you wanted that connection to look like. And what we did that way, we learned a lot about the applicants, but also we were able to make sure that we embedded in their mind that what comes out of this has to be something that is connective. It's connected to the community, because you're not just speaking for yourself as an artist, you're actually speaking for an entire community. So that part was really important. We brought them in. We pared it down a little bit based around a lot of different things, and then we brought in and did some interviews. And shout out to Buff One and Max, and the two of us, as well as DJ Nitro was a participant as well in choosing and selecting our final fellows. And it was relatively rigorous, but I think that we had some really tough decisions to make at the very, very end. But I think that we made a great selection, and what we were clear about is, even though people applied and they weren't chosen, they are now a part of this family overall. And we've been able to go back to them and even provide them with opportunities as well. So it was just a great experience all the way around.
Absolutely. And we actually have footage of the original interviews. And,
I have not.
And
seen that.
yeah, and clips of their music that they submitted to us. So
Absolutely.
We'll share that with you now.
I am from Ann Arbor. I'm a singer-songwriter. I think I would consider myself an instrumentalist before anything, because I started out playing violin, then the guitar, and then even with the way I approach singing is more, I learned from a scholastic point of view. So really a lot of my journey as an artist has been kind of getting out of all that studying and what is supposed to be, and being more flexible and fluid. So I think, I'm a triplet. So collaboration has been both easy and difficult at times. But I think I'm pretty good at group. I'm really about community. It's whenever I am looking to do a project, it's about who all is involved and the people involved and what they have to add and what people can create together. So that's kind of the tip I'm on right now.
Rose-colored windows that are falling through. Also, my journey as, I guess, a queer artist, Black queer artist, has played, a huge part, because some people feel like there's not, a space for me. I'm very much of the attitude, well, if there's not a lane for me, then I'll just pave my own, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So that's also been very much a driving force. And so I want to show people too, if they feel like they're in a category that in which they're being told they're othered, that's not a bad thing, because you have, so much more potential to kind of come into your own and be, whoever you want to be. And there's no limits to that, no matter what anybody tells you or what anybody's showing you.
I'm a very humble individual. I love being it makes me sad now. I don't see myself hugging nobody no time soon because of COVID, but that's the type of person I am. I'm very loving. So I see myself being on a level where it's you see me and I look like I'm just one of your cousins or something. Meanwhile, I might be on MTV Jams or something. You just watch me oh my God, that's Kenyatta Rashawn. I remember her. Yeah, hey. So I'm going to keep striving. That's the goal, to be on a different level from where I am now. And again, pulling the community with me. So lifting, climbing, and pulling as I'm climbing.
Yes. That was so good to watch.
Right.
Right. Super authentic. Amazing. So I know we got a lot done. It's been months and months of hard work, lots of effort put in. And what do we have coming up next? I know things are getting close. We got some events coming.
Mm-hmm. Well, Actually, we're just starting the Amplify Kick-Back series. It is a partnership between the partner as well as the community organization. We're going to have a live streamed event where and it will be ticketed as well, and we're going to have the community organization and the artists kind of together. We'll allow the artists to perform and talk to the community organization leader about what their organization is about. We want people to donate. We want people to, drop a couple bucks in order to support the causes. And then, so we'll be doing those over the course of the next few months. Mm-hmm. And then, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and then I just wanted to say that we're doing Kenyatta Rashan first on March 20th.
Yep.
There are tickets available for just the recording as well as the live stream, as well as a series pass. So Absolutely. We're going to be doing all three of them. Kenyatta Rashan on March 20th. Our partner is Do You See What I See?
Right.
With Sharisa Allen, who is amazing and works with women's empowerment and is just a great speaker and presence in general.
Absolutely.
So that is going to be kind of our kickoff fundraiser. Mm-hmm. We haven't done much fundraising yet.
Right.
And the really, really, I think, beneficial part of this is that we are splitting all ticket sales 3 ways. So we are giving a third directly to the artist, we are giving a third to the community organization, and then a third goes towards Amplify programming and the work that we've already been doing with the fellows.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like how that all kind of weaves everything together.
Absolutely.
So, the fellows get to put in their input, then the community comes, and it's all kind of layering together.
Right.
And I actually one of my favorite parts is just seeing how we start working with the artists.
Right.
To see what Danny Darling starts doing to help us with social media. So this is getting good.
Absolutely. And then after the Kick-Back series, we'll be releasing their albums. We're looking towards June and releasing them in consecutive weeks. And doing a lot of things around that. So just make sure that you follow us, Amplify Washtenaw, on Instagram to get more updates about that. We're really excited about the music that we've already heard. It's already going through mixing and things of that nature. It's going to be really something special.
So you're helping them also through the mixing process and all that?
You know what? Thankfully, no, not to a degree, not as of yet. But it's not completed. So a lot of the work has been done by, if I can say, Taylor Greenshields at Fundamental Sound. Sam Watson has really been active, and then you have London does everything.
Producers.
And London does everything. So, but there's also a lot of community musicians that are around, horn players, guitar players. Everybody's been kind of poking their heads in on these projects. So again, it's about the artists, but it's also about the entire community because, as we like to say, the Amplify Fellowship likes to amplify the fellowship of artists in the network as well.
Yeah, and so amplify-fellowship.com is our website. On our website right now, you can learn more about the Amplify Kick-Back series as well as purchase tickets. Please, please, please join us for this event. It's going to be worth it.
Absolutely.
Any final plugs from you guys?
Well, I just want to thank everybody who tuned in. I want to thank again all the Amplify artists. I want to thank you guys, Rod, Maia, for all the work you've done. I know this is the beginning. I can't wait to see the work come. I can't wait to see some albums drop. We'll be looking forward to that. And we'll also be pushing it all out to you guys. 100% of the proceeds will go to the artists and developing the artists. So let's make it happen as much as possible. Also want to give one more shout out to Rod's new show.
Zero Noise Podcast.
Zero Noise Podcast, if you haven't seen it.
Noise with a Z.
Noise with a Z.
On all streaming platforms and YouTube. Check it out. Check it out. We've had some really great conversations, and what we do, we talk to great people. We talk about the music that influenced them, and it's been a fantastic ride already.
Yep. So everybody, one more time, thanks again for joining us at Leon Live. This was episode 3. And to learn more about Leon Speakers, check us out at leonspeakers.com. Everybody have a fantastic Thursday. Thank you, guys.